How's it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech, and today we're gonna unbox the brand new, just released iPhone SE. Also known as the iPhone SE2. Let's have a look at the box first. So then iPhone on both sides, Apple logo at the bottom and Apple logo at the top, as usual, as Apple is always doing. All right. In the back, you can see 110 and 28 gigs, the capacity, and some specs, which we're gonna go through them throughout the video. Now let's just go ahead and open it up straight up. Always very satisfying. It used to be better before, but it's still good. Let's put that plastic to the side, and then of course lift up the box and reveal what's inside. So lift it up, and we're gonna see, as always, designed by Apple in California, this little card with information inside. We're gonna have a look at that in a second. And then we have the iPhone itself. Pull it up from this little tab, and we're also going to have a look at that in a second, the star of the show, of course. And then let's see what else is inside the box, right? So on that little card that we were seeing, we have some paperwork, basic stuff like quick guide, as we are used to seeing. So if you're not an iPhone user, you know how to get around. You have, of course, the SIM tool, which is a little bit different now. It's a little bit thinner and rounded. But anyways, and then we have some warranty information and stuff we don't really care, along with, of course, the Apple stickers, which we all love. Then, of course, let's have a look at what else, the other accessories. We have the charger, of course, the power adapter. It's a 5-watt adapter, a very small one. And what's very interesting is that now it's in paper, it's wrapped in paper, not in plastic. And that's very good for the world, for the environment. I love that. Apple is always concerned about that. We also have the earphones, of course, regular wired earphones, not wireless or anything like that. And they connect via Lightning. Okay, so not auxiliary cable or anything like that, like for years that's been going on. And then we have, of course, the cable, the power cable, which is going to be USB Type A and Lightning. So no USB Type C, no fast charging, nothing like that. Very slow charging with the setup that comes in the box. Okay, let's put now all that to the side and have a look, of course, at the iPhone SE itself, which is in white. Have the white model. As you guys can see, is very white. I love this color. If you can compare with other iPhones, you can see that it is a slightly different color. Let's open it up. Now it's back and front plastic. We all love those noises, of course. And then we're gonna have a look at the display. As you guys can see right here, first of all, the first thing I'm noticing actually is that how light that phone is. That's extremely lightweight, especially if you compare with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, like I got right here, which is so heavy. And just have a look at the size difference. It's a huge size difference. If you have a look at both those devices, it's a big drawback on the iPhone SE. It looks like an old iPhone, but I'm going to talk about that later in this video as well. So then, as you guys can see right there, we've got the iPhone SE, very light, very tiny phone. Right here on the front, as you guys can see, it has Touch ID, so it has, of course, the home button, physical home button, old design like we used to see like 3 years ago. It's still here. Big bars, big bezels at the bottom and at the top. We're going to have a look at that in a few seconds, of course. And then we're going to let's have a look at the device as a general. So lightning port, speaker, microphone, usual Apple stuff. On the right, we're going to have the SIM tool, the SIM tray actually, power button, very small power button, very tiny, and of course the the bands, network bands for cellular, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. On the other side, we're going to have volume buttons, of course, the silent switch, and of course we're going to have those bands as well at the top and bottom. At the top, we have nothing, absolutely nothing. And then at the back, very clean, super clean Apple logo, centered Apple logo, just on par with the latest Apple design. And then if you have a look at the 11 Pro Max again, which is broken, unfortunately, it's broken. My heart aches so much. But as you guys can see, centered Apple logo, and the color you can see is pretty different, as I mentioned before. So it's like ice white on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, frosted, and then on the iPhone SE is really white. And again, one camera, one microphone, and then 4 LED flashes. All right. Now let's activate the phone, boot it up, and have a look at the display a little bit better and many other things. So now that the iPhone just booted up, we can see the display, and the first thing we can see is the big bars at the top and at the bottom, of course, big bezels, home button, old design, which hurts a lot on the eye. And then we can see the display, which is like, as you guys can see, diagonally measured 4.7 inches. If you compare with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the iPhone 11 Pro Max has a 6.5 inches versus 4.7. It's a huge difference. This phone is tiny. Okay, let's have a look at the activation process. I know that it doesn't seem like very interesting at all, but I want to show you this because I want to show you how fast and how smooth and how powerful this phone is. Because again, one of the key things, the most important thing about this phone is that it uses the very same processor that the iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max use, which is the A13 Bionic. So it's the fastest, the best processor Apple has ever made, and pretty much the best in the world right now. And this budget phone, $399, has this processor. And as you guys can see, I'm just blazing through this process, which it can take a few minutes actually if you're doing this in an older phone. And even though this is a very cheap entry-level phone, look at how fast everything is. Look at how fast all the pop-ups are. Of course, I'm not getting any backups or anything like that, but still, look at this. I'm blazing through everything, and just in like 90 seconds or less than that, I'm done. You know, I'm set up, continue, and I'm done. This phone is a beast in performance, and it's so weird because it is so tiny actually, but it is. So if we continue to have a look at the phone, let's just open some apps and continue having this experience of speed, of lightness, of smoothness. And as you guys can see, everything opens up just like on an iPhone 11 Pro. We just press home button and then open apps for the first time, launch apps for the first time. Those are being launched for the first time. There's no RAM memory holding them down or anything like that. No, they're actually booting up for the first time. Look at that camera. Look at the speed of that shutter button and everything. Look at how everything is so fluid. Honestly, at $399, this phone is going to be the fastest phone in the world by far. But then again, guys, this is just my first impressions. I can't really talk about a lot more about performance, battery life, camera quality, or anything like that. But I have new videos coming up talking about all of that, and I'm sure you guys are going to really love it. Again, just first impressions, I'm really impressed about this phone. But again, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and stay ahead and keep tuning in to Daniel About Tech for more content about the iPhone SE and much more. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in a few days. Bye bye.